Hello, everyone, and welcome in for a very special Sanguine Dominion. We are traveling oh so very much into the past. Oh, there it is. That's better. We're traveling into the past of the city of Calgary, where our coterie sits in the grand year of 2025 in a city of technology and towering spires, fast moving cars, and of course, in the case of some of them, neon lights and loose women. You're only going to find one of those things in the year that we are playing in. It is Sanguine Dominion 1894. We are still within the domain of Calgary just this year, being minted as a city. One of the first cities in all of the west of Canada, besides one place, truly, and that's Vancouver, which is where our coterie is from. This short series is going to be predicated and at the behest of one Prince Siegfried. Or rather, Siegfried. No, Siegfried, yeah. Now, where we are starting our story this evening, our coterie has traveled from the port of Vancouver across the lower mainland, through the Okanagan Valley, up and over the very Rocky Mountains themselves. A treacherous and dire journey. Something that was tantamount to about as dangerous a thing as a kindred could commit to back in the year 1894. As those wild lands are filled with foul things. Things that are dangerous to the unlife of a kindred. Things like werewolves. Or perhaps other changing breeds that could be found in the wilderness. But we are going to just gently wave past those moments. Our coterie has arrived safe on the outskirts of Calgary proper. And we sit now within the catacombs. A hollowed out former mine, a copper mine that sat underneath Calgary General Hospital. It is here that apparently a haven has been set up. A place where the Prince, Siegfried, is going to be attending you, receiving you after your long journey, and you all make your way into these catacombs. They are essentially what you would imagine. Bones being laid and turned into the walls. Sharp, well-worked stone leading to a well-appointed chamber. A place with a chimney, a fireplace, tables with set pieces upon them, carafes of drinks, lacking plates, as you're not here to eat, bookshelves, bedding, all of the things that a kindred would need night to night. And it is here that we are actually going to start this journey. Prince Siegfried. He's a man of much means, well respected in all kindred circles. He's a very rare breed, in fact. One that very few have a poor word to say, brokering deals between the Guru of the western coast and the kindred of Vancouver, creating a safe zone away from the Sabbat, making peace with the anarchs, and a flourishing, if rigidly hierarchical, status quo within that city. And he has deigned to travel all the way across the frontier to ensure that what you are here to do is a success. And so, the man sits. He is still a Ventru. He is a prince, and a prince is rarely spotted without some sort of seat of authority, and thus, set against the back of this well-appointed catacombs chamber is a plush, high-backed chair that he sits upon, attended by two individuals that stand at either side of him. A pair of rough and tumble individuals, leather vests, chaps, blue jeans, bandoliers, set of pistols on each hip, looking all the same if one was not a clean-cut, waxed mustache-looking individual, and the other a rugged, almost wild man with an uncombed beard and balding head, apparently not embraced in the prime of his life. But Prince Siegfried, he is the picture of professionalism. He wears a double-breasted suit, well appointed, made out of fine material, manicured look to him, no dirt under the fingernails, although the trail may have been dusty. It seems as if his shoes are shined. His face must have been shaved when he was embraced, as he is clean-cut. He looks to you all. Let's go around the table. Introduce ourselves, shall we? While the people at home may know your professions, they may not know your name or truly who you are. And so, Professor, could you please, as you sit within this lantern-lit catacombs chamber, tell us what you look like, what your name is, perhaps your clan.
Professor Rafael Moreno, or just Professor as he prefers, is you assume a tall, lanky man, broad shoulders. He's kind of sitting not terribly formally in his chair. He's kind of relaxing. He's got black hair that kind of goes down probably like to mid-neck length. It's a little bit curly and wavy, and it's mostly slicked back currently. He's got round glasses, dusty, kind of desaturated tan skin, green eyes, and he's wearing what you might typically expect to be, something a professor would wear, a nice kind of silk vest, a bit of a cravat that's tied a little haphazardly, like he did it poorly or in a rush. Long black jacket. It's a bit dusty. It's got some, smudges on it from the road or really just walking around in dirt roads. And yeah, he doesn't look like there's a whole lot to him. And sitting at his feet is just about the biggest dog you've ever seen that's not a wolf. Black dog, blue eyes that seem to kind of have a bit of a glow to them. He's got a big collar, leather collar on him. Just laying underneath his chair, head on paws, between the legs, and you would think that somebody who walks around with a dog would be like a gangrel. But no, he is of Clan Ravnos.
Excellent. Excellent. Now, as much as the professor looks like that sort of dark and mysterious academic sort that would populate some of the halls of learning in the more urban areas of the world, there are others that look a little bit more the part for this section of the world, this wild frontier, the newly minted cities, the wooden walls, the saloon doors, the dusty trails, the campfires, and the moonlight on foggy foothill mornings. It is our own cowboy standing there as well. Go right ahead. Who are you? What do you look like? And perhaps the clan.
Sawyer Boone, though most would know him by the moniker he's earned, Wild Man, is ruggedly 5'9". He's got pale skin. He's got kind of balding on top. He's got decent mustache. He's got poncho, bandana, button-down shirt, jeans, chaps, boots, spurs. He's not subtle. And underneath the poncho, underneath the shirt, for anyone who's wondering, very hirsute, I think is the word, almost like a bear would be, because he is of Clan Gangrel, and that is his animalistic feature. He has a pistol holstered at his hip, a rifle slung over his shoulder, and he does have a hat up top, the very picture of a cowboy.
There's another here that would look far more at home in a house of debauchery out here in the West, a gambling den, or perhaps a brothel, a place where ne'er-do-wells and fiendish creatures of the night would find far more comfort. Den of iniquity is where you would see someone such as this. But they would be sitting within that den, looking rather fabulous. Lewis, the gambler, would you please tell us who you are? Perhaps clan.
Yes, I am Lewis, wearing a deep gray pinstriped suit, single-breasted with matching waistcoat, bow tie, gray top hat, white gloves, white boots, laced. Very tailored, clean, tall figure, 5'10", slender, androgynous. From one angle, quite masculine, and from another, more feminine. Lewis is of Clan Toreador, and at home in places where people make deals and wagers and bring their finely tailored selves to enjoy.
We have a final individual here tonight, looking, if at all possible, even more out of place within catacombs, perhaps more at home within the mausoleums and crypts of perhaps New Orleans, somewhere further south. It is our own magician. If you could tell us who you are, perhaps your clan.
Elias, since for this time, will be considered a giant. He is about 6'8", but only maybe 180 pounds. But the build is extremely lean, but whatever lean there is was not worked for. It is purely by the sake of his genetics that he has that any musculature at all. He is wearing a very dapper crushed velvet red suit. Well, not the entire suit, the jacket, and then, of course, the pants and shirt underneath are black with very shiny buttons. His boots, however, they are a taller ankle length boot, not an ankle length, excuse me, shin length boot, which you can see does have a bit of dust on them, but it doesn't. But to the untrained eye, you would just think that's dirt from the trail or being out in the wilderness, possibly. Inside, he is not wearing his glasses. He also has green eyes, naturally straight hair, but he is a black man. And he walks with a cane, which ends with a skull on it, which, for a person who is 6'8", that is a very large cane. And he is of clan Toreador. Not Toreador, Tremere, excuse me, Tease.
If y'all ever get confused at home, there are symbols that you can check. Now, Prince Siegfried is not unfamiliar with you all. To give a little bit of backstory on specifically why you're here. Why you? Why the prince? It was not terribly long ago that Prince Siegfried united the city of Vancouver, the Anarchs and the Camarilla, bringing together the clans and their infighting and battling against the Guru. It was not a situation without danger, and you, your coterie, were instrumental in rising him to the point where he is and sits, and he owes you. And so he has traveled out this way with you. There is a problem with this domain, very specifically, the details of which have been kept largely secret. He said he would tell you when he and you arrived, but the boon that he owed of you is to be repaid through the ending of this travel, and thus he has pledged on his own honor that this is not duplicity He is not trying to renege on any bargains. There has been one very, very firm promise that he has made you. When all is said and done, and the dust settles, and your business is complete here in Calgary, you, your coterie, will be able to divide this land and rule it. You will become the prince, the baron, whatever you like. This will be your land to do with as you please. So, Prince Siegfried sits here in front of you. He looks to you all with that signature Ventrue look of imperiousness and superiority. Thank you for coming. Thank you for making the time. Coming all the way across these lands. I know you've been waiting with bated breath for exactly why I have decided to drag you all the way over God's green earth to this little frontier. But you know, as well as the rest of the court of Vancouver, that I and the Sabbat, Sword of Cain, have foul history with one another. This has led to several revelations. I keep my ear to the ground. My watchdogs follow their every move, all throughout Western Canada. Now, this has led to a revelation. We have been following signs, portents, and more concrete evidence that one of their fabled Methuselah sit underneath these lands. And as much as there is 99 out of 100 failed attempts to raise something horrible out of the earth in order to devour it or worship it, whichever, depending on the evening, it would seem as if this one is, very unfortunately, quite credible. I have bargained with spirits, with the dead. I have spoken to prophets, and I have done no small amount of research myself into the various occult grimoires and horrifying eldritch tomes that are afforded to me within the libraries of the university, and it would seem as if there is one known as Enkidu underneath the soil of Calgary. Now, do not quail quite yet at the revelation. I don't know if you are familiar with the stories of this Enkidu, but he is old, and he is horrifyingly powerful, but the wards, the circles of protection, the spirits, and if the rumors of these lands are true, the cairn that he sits within are all true, then it would seem as if the Sabbat, Sword of Cain, local branch anyway, have found their way into a set of rite rituals, horrifying and foul, that will open this cave that Enkidu sleeps within. This will afford you a few things. You will be unimaginably influential on this side of the world, should you shut down this branch. You will have access to knowledge that will make you some of the most well-educated in this part of the world, and if I am not mistaken, the sleeping place of this Enkidu contains treasures, mundane, and, of course, some filled with power. I do not believe that I have misread all of you, whether it be a lust for adventure, power, knowledge, or old-fashioned hard currency. You all have a reason for wanting exactly what I want. I have several documents sitting here about the location of where this foul entrance may be, a list of contacts that you will need to be getting in touch with, and a hit list. Yes, this will be work that will get your hands dirty. If that does not appeal to you, or you find your hearts not hardened enough in order to do this foul work, I do not fault you, but you will forfeit the opportunities that I have lined up. You have my full support in all of these things, all of the money, all of the allies and contacts that I have in this city. Should there be any sort of rough patches, please, I encourage you to contact me, and I will do what I can to smooth it over, or perhaps pull your bacon out of the fire. So, now that we are all here, I have to imagine that you did not come here to simply turn around and go home. If you're ready, I will have the documents laid out, and you can pore over them and discuss them of your own accord.
Of course. I cannot wait to take care of this problem for you.
What about the rest of you?
You're asking me to clip the horns on a Sabat pack?
That is a very rustic way to describe what I would like you to accomplish here, but yes, it is apt enough. It is not simply a pack, though. Within this dossier, there are a few individuals that I find transcend your usual Sabbat pack. There is not simply a ductus and a priest and the rabble. Situated here within this city is a cardinal, one by the name of Kyle Strathcona. An individual that I believe, with the right pressure applied, may be inclined to switch sides. It does not seem that his allegiance runs as deep as his contemporaries would assume. What about you,
Well, shit.
Raphael? I know that you hunger for knowledge and you have studied much, but your field work may leave certain things to be desired. Is this the field work that you have been craving?
Well, not particularly, but might as well get it done.
Good, good. He looks up, quite a ways up, at Elias. Now, Elias, I know that the rest of these here will likely have the best interest of the Camarilla at heart. However, I understand that you have a certain interest with your own. The pyramid are going to want the things that are contained here just as much as the ivory tower does. And I do not ask for any guarantees. I owe you a debt. But I will say there are rumblings that in the next century or so, your clan will have a certain authority. And it would be very beneficial for you to add to that.
Monsieur, it will be my absolute pleasure to assist you in this so far as I am allowed to better the position of the pyramid. Of course, you have me.
That is good. I am glad that you all have decided to go along with this so willingly, as, frankly, I do not think that you could accomplish this without all of you being present. It is going to take the rugged fortitude of a gangrel. It is going to take the wily charisma of the Toreador. It will take the storied and well-traveled education of a Ravnos. And, of course, it will take the warding and magical potential of one of the warlocks. So, here is roughly what you are going to need to know. Prince Sigfrid stands, and he makes his way over to a large wooden table and spreads out this dossier, taking several pieces of paper, charcoal rubbings, maps, and information on certain individuals, hand-drawn renditions of certain folks of interest within Calgary proper. You see a total of 4 people that are detailed here in these documents that are of interest very specifically. But the first thing that Siegfried points out is the map. Now, there's going to be a certain thing that you need to know about Calgary. Calgary is built on a very large hill. It is nestled between a large and a small hill, and the Bow River runs between it. Within the large hill that they call Nose Hill, for the gigantic facial-like structure of the land surrounding, you will very likely be finding exactly what you are looking for. These catacombs and weaving tunnels that will lead you to the hiding place of one Enkidu. However, blindly walking in these caves, I think, is going to be tantamount to suicide. There are going to be traps. There are going to be ambushes. They will be set to collapse. You can best believe that the Sword of Cain would rather bury their riches than allow them to get into the hands of the Ivory Tower. So this will have to be clandestine. However, he points to 3 different spots within that hill. These are your entrances. You can choose either or any, perhaps attack all 3. But the reality is that they have strongholds sitting on the entrances to each. There is a brothel that sits upon one. It is known as the Madam's Delight. On another, there sits a gun shop. If it is to be believed, this gun shop is under the purview of one of the Sabbat, and it is loaded with gunpowder, ready to blow. If I were a smart man, I would be operating this gun shop as a front, and I would have someone there ready to give their life for me. Blow it all to high hell. And sitting atop the third is a haberdashery. That may sound, at first glance, like the safest thing. But this haberdashery is being run by Kyle Strathcona himself. And it may just be the most dangerous place. There is one other place of interest within this city. He points to what appears to be a small graphic of a cave on the map. I have been in contact with some of the lupines here. This is one of their cairns. Should you be so brave, it may be in your best interest to speak to them. They are of a tribe that are far more friendly to our kind. They understand the woes and the dangers of having something like this wake up. They have been sent a missive detailing certain things, but not enough to put you in danger. It is paramount that they do not get access to Enkidu, as their kind are known to be quite zealous, and they may just try to have a standoff against him. And as much as I would love to imagine that a hulking 12-foot-tall furred machine of war would be able to handle Enkidu, I have done enough reading to know that an entire pack, an entire nation of Guru likely would not stand a chance. So, those are the details that you should know about within this city. The dossiers on these four individuals. This is the most important. He taps with his finger. This is Kyle Strathcona. You see a picture of a man who stands perhaps 5'10" to 6 feet. He's got a scar running along one side of his face. Are any of you familiar with Kyle? And I would like anyone who would like to roll me either an academics or an occult.
I'll roll a cult.
Please.
I'll do
Intelligence or
academics.
just straight up or intelligence.
Oh, I'm sorry. It'll be intelligence. Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes I assume that it's obvious. Intelligence plus your skill of choice.
There was a chance it was wit since this was such a quick question. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, no. Feel free to rack your brain on it and use your intelligence rather than your quick wit.
It's
don't have
intelligence
any.
academics for me, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I don't have any points on either of those skills, so I just rolled my intelligence -1.
Okay.
Which was 1 dice, and I got nothing.
And you got nothing. Okay. Well, I can very confidently say that you know nothing of Kyle Strathcona. I think that'll be
Yeah.
how that lays out.
Without
burn a light
rolling,
power.
Lewis is in the same situation and is gazing at the prince's outfit.
He's looking fantastic. 3 successes. Okay.
Yep.
3 successes.
3 successes.
Very
Okay.
upsetting.
We will give the academics answer first, as it's more public knowledge. Kyle Strathcona. You don't know any of the vampiric history of one Kyle Strathcona. However, Strathcona is a famous name when it comes to the history of the prairies. A wealthy individual that has donated pretty large swaths of money to see land development, to see industry, railroads, forts built. You know that this has been all at the behest of Kyle Strathcona. And that gives you much information on what he might have sway in, influences within the military, influences within the industrial sectors of the city. You think that he very likely has on beck and call allies and contacts all over this place. You know very distinctly that Kyle Strathcona is not an academic. You've heard rumors of him being a fighter. He's solved more than one trade dispute with blows. He has browbeat and on more than one occasion, likely, allegedly, slain an opponent when it comes to trade and commerce. He's a dangerous man, even outside of the realm of kindred politics. 3 successes on occult. Kyle Strathcona has been fabled for some time to be a part of different secret organizations within the mortal world. You would think things like maybe the Illuminati, or perhaps other secret societies, the Masons, or maybe even some sort of subsect of an Abrahamic religion with, more foul connotations. But there is one very specific that you know and have seen evidence of him acquainting himself with. Kyle Strathcona has been a part of the Key and Saber Society within Calgary for its entire inception. You know for a fact that the Key and Saber is supposed to just be a very selective cigar club, a place where finer, more refined gentlemen will be invited in order to discuss the matters of the day. But you know better. Where you're from, societies like the Key and Saber. Or, for you, the Lotus and Pill are known to be far more insidious than you think. Where one kindred is connected to a secret society, unless perhaps it's ministry. Typically, there are more kindred, as most do not dabble in running a cult. So, those are the things that you know about Kyle Strathcona going forward. The prince looks at you, gives you a little bit of a scrutinizing gaze. Do you recognize him? Kyle.
I know some of these circles that he runs in.
I see. And what of you?
Key and Saber.
Oh, you know of the Key and Saber. I must admit I am woefully unprepared to have a conversation about the secret societies out here. They are insular enough that even with my sway, I have not been given entrance, but I believe they have done this by design, as they know who I am and what I am trying to accomplish. But what of you, Professor?
He just kind of shrugs and exhales a bit of smoke. He's been smoking a wooden pipe, a finely carved wooden pipe during this time. Yeah, I know of him. Bit of a fighter, browbeater, has a lot of influence in military, industrial influences. We're going to need to be careful maneuvering around him.
Ah. Well, I'm glad that you're familiar. That is going to help, most assuredly. Well, I must say, it seems as if I have chosen the right ones. He runs the haberdashery, and it seems like that will be the most likely place to find him, but it would be perhaps better to use the knowledges that you have to catch him somewhere where he is not on his home turf. This next individual, and he points at the piece of paper. You see that the person there is a madam. Cleavage up to the neck, breasts pushed up, blush on. Even in this portrait, it would seem she has been painted as someone who puts appearances first. She is beautiful, stunning, angular features, almost a look of aristocracy to her. Frilled dress, very current, very fashionable. This woman is Madame Doucette. Madame Doucette has run the brothel here in town for the entire time that it has been around. She is a toreador of some renown, apparently coming all the way back from Paris. She has brought her little harem of well-trained men, keeping them on a tight leash, but only because they are so deadly and prone to violence. She runs a society of her own, one that does many foul things out here on the prairies. They are known as the White Glove Society. But they are supposedly quite easy to infiltrate. It is a payment process. And if, once again, rumor and speculation is to be believed, he looks over to Lewis, you can gamble your way in. Miss Doucette.
My favorite way.
She has a love for games of chance. It seems to be her one weakness. Something about the art of the game. Frankly, I think I could not have chosen a better person to come on this trip in order to get information, and perhaps just enough of a worm inside to perhaps do away with her before anything truly pops off. He points to another piece of paper. This is a man that is wearing a beard. He is missing teeth. He has a big growth on one side of his face. Foul set of pockmarks all across his upper cheeks. Big liver spot on the other side, and has wily hairs growing out of it. This is Clubs. Clubs is the enforcer here in the city. Clubs is a known slayer of all manner of things. He will be the very first person that you will need to watch out for. If there is any wind of you coming into this city, I very much presume that he is going to attempt to kill you. It will be outright. It will not be subtle. It may be in the middle of the street. It will be with guns. It will be with explosives. He is not a man of intrigue, and he feels emboldened that his sect runs this city and could cover up any true issues that might occur. Thus, Clubs will need to be dealt with sooner rather than later. I know some of you are not the most esteemed combatants, so I suggest, and then he looks at Boone, you find this man and you put him down.
Oh, I'll break him, don't you worry.
Perhaps you can send that big dog as well.
I think when the prince says big dog, Kadeho, like, his ears kind of perk up a little bit, and he opens one eye and then goes back to sleep.
Yes. Clubs is not fond of dogs. It would appear that sometime in his mortal life that he had found himself on the foul end. And you see a detail at the bottom of this dossier that Clubs has a very distinct fear of dogs. That there is an incident earlier in his mortal life that led him to being deeply, deeply unsettled by dogs. Whether that be individuals that sit in war forms, people taking the forms of wolves, werewolves, etc. Clubs is very adverse and fights at a very wild disadvantage. But, you see, underneath, if you do not take advantage of this, Clubs has been known to pick up a train car and throw it. He has been seen moving at a pace that is far faster than a steam engine. You have also seen something else that is almost more unsettling. He attempted to stop said steam engine with his body and walked away without a singular wound. He is fast, and he is strong, and he is durable. Use every advantage that you can. He points to the fourth individual. Now, this one, they may be your way in, depending on what their loyalties lie with these knights, and may be your first correspondent within this city. And it's a devastatingly handsome gentleman. Waxed mustache, sharp goatee, a rambler hat, a suit with a bolo tie, a winning smile with a golden fang that has been embedded where one of his canines should be, a big scar running from the top of his forehead down past the eye, and sharp features, dark hair, dark eyes. This man right here is Benvolio. Benvolio is a member of the Serpents of the Light, a branch of what is known as the Ministry, or the Followers of Set, depending on your inclination. They are known to come from all over the Caribbean. But this one has made his way here, and if my sources are to be believed, he is disgruntled about it. He does not like the cold. He does not like the oppression. He does not like serving under a Ventru. It chafes him. And such, he has made it known that he would not mind a way out. So perhaps with the right offer from the right individual, he may be swayed. But the reason why we would even approach him is truly the cards that he holds. He has a distribution on what seems to be almost all of the illicit drugs and alcohol that come within this city. So if you were to spike the punch of anyone, so to speak, poison a herd, cut off a supply from a group of addicts, or perhaps sabotage a business by removing their supply of illicit substances, he would be your man. He's also the very least likely to turn on you instantly and attempt to slay you. As far as I know, his blood is special. It would seem as if he is unbondable. And thus, the vinculum, that strange ritual, the Valdery, that the Sword of Cain commits on a regular basis to enslave themselves to one another. Does not hold any water for him. So, that is the information that I have for you. Besides this, there is the matter of the ritual. I would not have sent you here without a very distinct set of instructions to seal this problem. There is what appears to be a scroll that is on the table as well. It is bound with red cord, and very gently the prince unties it and unfurls it. Can I please get we're going to go occult here from anyone who is present. Intelligence and occult.
Me.
Would my specialty apply to this?
Yeah.
In occult? Okay.
Yeah, I think it does.
What's your specialty?
Prince scrolls, obviously.
Ah, yeah. I rolled 1 dice again.
Yeah.
Still didn't get anything.
Wild.
Yeah, nothing.
Crazy. I can't believe it. I can't believe the uneducated.
I rolled 2 dice and I got 1 success.
And you got
so
1 success.
I'm paying the slightest amount of attention.
Lewis, you pay a little bit of attention. We'll give you your bit of information first. Scroll looks weird.
7 successes.
7 successes. How many did the professor get?
4.
4 successes? We'll go with the 4 successes first. That scroll's made from flesh. Very simply.
My favorite.
As he unfurls it, it is inked in blood. As he finishes unfurling it and putting small weights on each of the corners in order to hold it down, you notice that some of the symbols on here are very, very reminiscent of old ciphers that you are familiar with from Eastern Europe. Places like Poland, in the Carpathians. It's strange. It's old Eastern Slavic languages that never really were properly named. Things that predate the Kievan Rus, even. Elias, you have an eye for these things. You have been documenting the horrible, horrible things that get written on scriptures of flesh for some time. It is very likely that you have penned some of those horrible things that have been written on scriptures of flesh. However, it is here, and now that you get an almost instant revelation, you look at it, oh, that's not blood sorcery, that is not thaumaturgy. This is not a ritual of spirits or of practice and discipline. This is not the hermetic hedge magic of your bloodline or those that you know of. You've seen this before. And it is like a hook in your gut. I'll leave it up to you whether or not you show the sensation of unrest and fear that punches through you, but this is infernal. This is the work of demons. This is the work of things that are beyond blood.
The look on his face, it's pure annoyance and borderlining disgust. It is not actually, it's not fear. It's just because, especially of 1894, this is repugnant to kindred in general. And he does not shy away. He looks at it, and even though he does not breathe, he brings out a handkerchief and just goes, ugh.
I see. You're familiar with the work. Yes.
We are to deal with demons then.
This was the original seal that was put upon his entombment. Some sort of incredibly foul, eldritch power that was brought forth here.
Sorry, did I hear you right, big man? Did you say demon stink?
That is of the fallen, yes.
Spits on the ground.
Fascinating. Disgusting, but fascinating.
He took that to ensnare this Enkidu.
Yes. Well, the reason why you need to know the details of this ritual is not to enact it again. It is to break it and then to change it. I know that there are other wards that are upon this site, and they should be the things that are keeping it asleep. However, the thing that keeps it in place is this ritual. Now, Elias, I know that you are particularly well versed in matters of warding. Circles of power that create entrances and exits from which people cannot escape, and therefore I will leave it to you in order to put together and cobble a new trap for this thing. But I ask that you translate this, that you destroy the ward that is upon it, and craft it anew.
I will endeavor to do so, my friend.
Right. Now, with that out of the way, I believe I will leave it to all of you at how exactly you would like to skin this cat. I am at your disposal, of course, whenever you like. I will say, though, my benevolence only extends so far. I believe I will be able to offer but one very substantial favor to each of you throughout this endeavor. If that is understood, then I will take my leave for the evening. As much as I enjoy sitting and hosting within the dusty and dead catacombs underneath prairie cities, there is a much more comfortable lounge just above us where I would rather retire.
Well, thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Of course. Anyone else? Do you need anything
pleasure as
before I
always.
leave? It is a pleasure.
I'm sure I'll
I
think of
simply
something
need to
later.
I still need to scour what you have left for us.
Yes,
If I need anything, I will let you know. But until then, au revoir, mon ami.
of course. I am going to be leaving the documents here for you to do with as you please. He stands up, the prince, the two at his side, fasten belt a little tighter, and walk in lockstep behind him as they make their way up to the top set of stairs that lead from the catacombs up into the parlor where the prince is staying, leaving you all alone.
As soon as he's gone, Sawyer moves the first real movement everyone in the room has seen from Sawyer is to stumble a little, and he looks around at everyone in the room and goes, "Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I was half cut hours ago. I heard about some big fucker that needs to be put down. Am I right?
It is not me.
No, not you. The guy that throw it in train cars.
You did get that particular
Elias.
piece of information correct, yes.
Yeah. And he hates dogs, right? Did I hear that right?
Yep.
We.
Okay.
That's
Well, I
a
call
team
dibs on that one.
There were pictures, right? There were pictures, or at least portraits made.
There are portraits
it
of
was kinda,
every single person that was detailed. The four
it's
individuals of interest within the city. Yes, the prince, the madam, clubs, and Benvolio.
I slide the portrait over to. Why am I British now? I slide the portrait over to. That was just Daryl. I don't know why Daryl became British.
Daryl defaults to British.
Yeah. Wild man looks down and goes, "Ugh. Is that him?
Oh, I was
That's
not
the
aware
one?
that you were a Toreador.
No, he's just real fucking ugly.
Yes.
He
Unfortunate
certainly
to look
is.
upon.
Yeah.
Now that is a Toreador.
Yeah.
But looks it would appear belie a strength that even the kindred would find. I don't want to say terrifying, but would give pause, no?
I don't know
Not a
how the
train
rest
car.
of y'all are in a scrap, but that's what I do.
I've got a gun. I do well enough.
Throwing train
Fine.
cars well enough?
Not well enough to dodge a train, but I move quick.
Hmm.
For what the prince saw to us, he was able to take a hit from the train car and
Mhm.
walked away unscathed. So, do you have any special artillery upon you?
Wild man kind of puts his hand on the table, and then his fingernails lengthen out into garish-looking claws. And then he crunches through part of the paper and the table and just shatters wood, the whole deal through. And he goes, Yeah, you put me in front of that fucker, I'll make his life miserable.
Well, from what was told, simply walk into the town and he will make himself known and try to kill you in whatever means he can.
That
What
makes
are
my
the
life so much
chances-
easier.
What are the chances he can resist a beautiful
duel.
face?
Or you wish to ensnare with the faith.
I ensnare, he executes.
I would leave that to you because I would hate for you to. You're also the one who could possibly get into a certain society by means of gambling.
Yes, I would rather prefer to see the madam.
But also,
A good gentleman's club.
I could simply pay our way.
That's no fun. No
Yeah.
wager. No admiration of her flock.
May
I
I
hear they're
remind
well
you, we are
dressed.
here to do a. May I remind you, we are here to do a job.
Yeah, I gotta say, I cheat at cards to start bar fights, not to win money. So, like, that's all you, gambler.
And I have no need for money as I have it.
I use the money to cheat at cards, to get more, to wager. Money's not the only thing people bet these days.
I
That's
fear
true.
we are losing the plot here.
A little bit. I can do stealth. I could probably make your enforcer a little crazy.
Yeah, who's this little fella? Walks over, And he pops a squat right in front of the dog and offers his hand to smell.
Immediately.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Kadeho would... Actually, you're a gangrel.
Oh yeah, huge
So-
animal can, all of it.
Mm-hmm. So he wouldn't like growl at you or anything, but he'll sniff your hand and then put his head back down.
Okay. I do have feral whispers, so I just kind of lean in and I talk to the dog and I'm like, all right, you tell me where it itches most, buddy. And I start scratching behind his head.
Oh yeah, he's within moments putty in your hands.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good boy. That's a good boy.
Professor kind of grins a little bit.
Mhm.
Well, it makes sense. Takes one to know one, right?
Hey, I resemble that remark.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Professor, do you get like that if someone pets you?
Sometimes. You want to find out?
Say the word. This is over.
Ooh.
So, I'm going to the brothel. Who's dealing with this Benvolio character? Should we be speaking or
Well,
executing?
like I said, takes one to know one. Maybe I will pay him a visit.
Because depending on when, I can be quite persuasive. But if you feel you have it in hand,
He kind of glances down at the dossier. I think he could be amenable.
I believe I am better served away from the common folk. I tend to put them at unease.
Mm. Oh, right. Didn't the prince say something about Strathcona?
Secret society, yes.
Who's gonna take
that
that
sounds
one?
a little more your speed.
I think that's more of an us collectively problem, don't you think?
Well,
Trying to divert the hierarchy of the Sabbat.
well, yeah, I remember hearing something about Strathcona being kind of wishy-washy about which side he really wants to be on. So maybe if the other three all of a sudden happen to have serious accidents all at the same time, then Strathcona's not really a problem anymore.
And an easy conversation at the haberdashery can be had.
You get it, gambler.
Well, I will assist you all in whatever way that I can. While I am not an overt fighter, I am not completely useless in a fight.
Wait, the prince said you're good at them circles, right?
Yes,
So
the words.
wards, yeah, that's the word. So this pig-headed motherfucker in town that's gonna show up right away. If there was a circle waiting for him, that'd make our lives a lot easier now, wouldn't it? What do they
Oui.
do? What do the circles do?
Excuse me while
If
I
you-
look at my.
If you don't mind me asking.
Well, specific above board, the
Mhm.
rituals I have are wards against ghouls and against canite.
Okay.
As far as just general blood sorcery, I
Mhm.
have corrosive vitae, scour secrets, and scorpion's touch. Wards against canites, we could trap him inside of a.
Do you have?
Hold on, I'm gonna say this I'm gonna say this in character now.
Mhm.
Well, a certain building was mentioned to be primed to blow up. Perhaps if we
Ooh.
check him
Yeah.
inside, I could have a ward in place.
Oh, big man, you're asking me if I want to fight a big brick hitting motherfucker from the Sabbat inside of a gunsmith shop? Oh, Christmas came early. Let's go.
A storyteller. Because
Yes.
specifically the ward that I'm thinking of using for, and I'm also, am I still coming through quiet?
On stream you seem fine now. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Specifically the ward for against Canaanites. Is there a way to do that where it would instead trap them inside of the building instead of trapping them from outside of the building?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So the way that
Would you
wards work is they keep things out and they also keep things in. Things that are inside of the ward when it is set up cannot leave. It is a very distinct and intentional act of adding the blood of those that you do not want affected to have them be able to bypass the ward. If that is not accomplished, no one gets in, no one gets out. All you have to do is keep them inside of the building long enough for the ward to go up.
So you just need, yeah.
I would need all of those here who would wish to participate and perhaps be able to escape a fiery type of thing.
I think that's. Wait, sorry, can you repeat the last part?
I would need a bit of your vitae
Ugh.
to make
That doesn't
sure that
taste good.
you are allowed
Yeah.
to leave.
That doesn't
As long
taste
as you're
good in
not
my mouth.
abusing your privilege.
I would never. I am a gentleman, of course.
You know what, big man? I trust that if you fuck around, I can kick the shit out of you. So let's do it.
I think I'll come in handy here. I can spend some time locking eyes, and I'll mention at this point that Lewis has piercing blue eyes, like full serial killer blue eyes. I'll spend a little time making eye contact, or just speaking to hold him in place.
Elias traces the facial hair that he does have, which has been you can tell that when he was embraced, they allowed him to get himself together. And his facial hair is in that of the anchor, in that he only has this up here, a strip, and then long, and then it goes back about to right here, but it's very fine, and he just kind of traces that. So, you two. And perhaps, and he points down to the dog, as he is not fond of Dean. I swear no harm will come to the hound. I only need a bit.
Well, didn't you
If
say
you
that
allow.
the ward for
He
Kindred
can't-
and is the ward
True.
different?
True,
So would you need?
but
So would you need the pup's blood?
is the hound tied to you?
Yes.
My fear is also that they have ensnared within this building. I would like to trap them as well.
Oh, like if they got ghouls and stuff.
Yes. We.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
It is a place of business that they have said it belongs to the network.
True. But I mean, if we're going in the middle of the night, we can probably only expect to find those that are of the kindred persuasion or their direct servants, right?
How long will this take you?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Um,
10 minutes.
Yeah, I don't have. Yeah, there's no. Yeah, there's no. This is just a thing that I have to like roll. Ritual wards, an item against another.
I'm more wondering, would it be 10 minutes each or 10 minutes total for both intended
Each.
effects?
Yeah, it'd be 10 minutes each.
So
Okay,
it'd be an
so-
hour. So close to an hour to get everything. Well,
Oh, no.
Yeah.
10 minutes each for each ritual, no matter how many people's blood you include. Yeah.
Yeah.
so just 20 minutes.
No, if it's the same ritual, I would just need the people, those who are participating.
Kind of out at the end there.
Yeah.
I would just the blood of those that will be involved, and it'll take.
You cut out at the end again.
Same thing, yeah.
What the fuck?
Get closer to the mic if you can.
No, actually pull up the board so it makes sure I can see them. I just need. I only need the blood of those who will be participating. Clearly,
Oh, okay.
The night is waning on, and it's likely going to not be this evening that any of this gets accomplished. So, it will be up to those here to stay in the lodging that you've been given, which is these catacombs here. The bedding and etc. is very clearly set up for all of you. And whatever plan of attack you have for the next evening is on you. It wasn't very directly spoken of, but there is an implied timeline to this. They are attempting to wake this individual up. You aren't entirely sure when, but the answer is not 30 days
We
from
don't
now.
have time to spare.
Yes.
Yes. And it was all discussed that the, to use the respectable term, Garu of the region, they are amenable to us. But we wish for them to attempt to attack this individual. And simply, we would want to assist if we can.
So, who do we set the guru on? Who do we throw under the bus for them? Because I say one of us walks in there with one of these files and just hands it to him.
I paused for just 1 sec. Daryl, your audio is definitely a little scuffed. You're coming through super quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, you started off
muffled.
strong and now
Almost
it's weird.
muffled. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give him a second.
Leave and come back.
Hey, folks, while we're waiting for Daryl to come back, you know what you could do? You could go right now to our YouTube channel and subscribe, where you could catch up on the entirety of Sanguine Dominion from the very start to the very finish. Yeah, there it is. Oh, is it not on? I don't have it on. Give me 1 sec. I'll turn those on. But yeah, we have, it's just www.youtube.com/anotherworldtabletop.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Infinitely better.
Okay. Just had to restart the whole thing and unplug and replug in my mic.
Also, the VOD of the first episode of The Last Ideal is up on YouTube as well, and all the episodes of Sanguine Dominion. So, go catch up.
Oh my god.
Hey, remember when Aaron was yelling at the cat?
Yeah, by the way, we do
Yeah.
have
It's
pretty
time.
we have pretty regular interruptions from my beloved cat.
How often do you write just the character that all the characters you have are just have a cat?
How often do I just have a cat?
Yeah, just NPCs. Just
Like
like
your-
I should probably put in there. They should have a cat, just in case.
Never.
Did it would make sense.
Aaron can handle it because I get the companionship. Otherwise, good sweet lord, I could never deal with a cat. Okay, we'll go. And on.
Go.
Question for the group: do we want to act on the group like task first, or do we want to do the separate individual tasks first?
I think the separate ones, then
Yeah.
going to Strathcona is probably best.
Yeah.
All right,
Because I think
Knock down the
'cause
pawns before you get to the king, you know?
Mm-hmm.
gotcha.
but also
Check
like
before checkmate.
even though it's separate tasks, for the most part, we're all gonna have a thing with it anyway.
Mhm.
It's like, oh yeah, here's a spell I can cast, and then I'm just gonna slink off into the shadows. Oh yeah, I'm gonna seduce this person, and then someone's gonna watch me stealthily. God knows. Gunfighting at midnight. I don't know.
Yeah.
that could be yours.
Tremendous, folks. I think this is where we are going to take our human break. Yeah, it feels a little bit appropriate. The preamble has finished. The night is about half over, and our coterie is making decisions on exactly where and how to attack this problem of sealing away this horrifying presence beneath the prairies. So, as always, I'm going to tell you. Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your sister, brother, any of your other siblings, tell your garbage collector, your mail delivery person, tell your local congress person, because Lord knows they're not doing anything fucking else more important, to come and watch Another World Tabletop. We are live right now telling vampire stories, and frankly, what else would you rather be doing on a Saturday night? Because Saturday is for vampires, but the most important thing of all, please tell your dog we love them. And we will be back in a tight 10 minutes. We'll see you then. Stay tuned. Hello, everybody. We are back. Did you tell your dog that we love them? Did you say that we are live to your local congressperson? Did you tell your mom? Did you tell your mom about us? Thank you. So we are sorry. We are sitting in the next night after a fitful slumber within the catacombs underneath the Calgary General Hospital, which is where you are. You awake, and I will ask, can I get a rouse check from everyone?
Wait, no. I misread that dice. I do get hungrier. However, that gives me an opportunity. I do take a little nip off of my flask. And by flask, I mean my horse Blackjack, who gets hammered on the saddlebag full of gin that he carries around.
Let's dive into that a little more.
Yeah.
So Boone,
Into the saddlebag, you
Boone,
mean? We're both going in
Boone
there
the
anyways.
Wild Man
Yeah.
has a horse named Blackjack, a paint horse.
Yeah.
That stands at a fairly. Brendan's a little low. Yeah. See, I had a feeling that everybody was a little bit low. Could everyone boost their mics a little bit? I've been looking at the audio output, and it's a little low on most people's end. And I do think that it is a problem on my side, so I apologize for the fact that you all
How's
need
that?
to calibrate a little bit better, but
Is that better?
give me a test.
Test.
No.
Does that change anything?
Yeah, nothing different. It is what it is.
I'll
as-
just get really close to my mic.
Yeah, as long as it's discernible. I do feel
I
like
don't
it's
think I I have control over the settings on mine, so I'm just checking to see if I sound okay.
Sharmy is definitely the one. Sharmy and Mandy are the ones that sound the most clear to me. For sure, for sure.
Check 1, 2. 3,
Daryl's
4,
great
5,
now
6,
too.
7, 8.
Yeah, there it is.
Check
Right.
1, 2, 3. Check 1. Check 1, 2, 3.
Nothing has changed for Brendan. Regardless, as long as it's discernible, we'll keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of a strange sight, seeing a horse nose its way into a saddlebag sitting on its back, and come out with a bota bag that it seems to suckle from for a few moments. The horse is a little bit unsteady for a short period of time, but in that short period of time, it allows Boone to take a drink.
Little sippy sip.
A little sippy sip.
Mm-hmm.
Slakes your thirst,
Ugh.
but it does come with a little bit of a downside, that being inebriation via alcohol.
Ooh, that's the good
That's-
stuff.
Well, we'll deal with the consequences of that should anything that requires any very fine dexterity come up. So,
Oh, much better.
I think I'll ask, as an entire coterie, can we get an affirmative that you're heading to the business that is run by Benvolio?
Unsteadily,
Yes.
but yep.
Tremendous.
I am. Also, I failed my rouse check, so
You have
I'm about to be I'm one away from being a walking masquerade breach.
gotcha.
Oh, I succeeded. I gotta say.
It's a short period of time. You all travel across the city of Calgary. It's a rather hilly area. From where you are, upon the western side of the city, you pass over the Bow River, the bridge that crosses it, and you head over to the saloon that is owned by Benvolio. The saloon is, some of you may roll your eyes, a little bit on the nose. It is named the Snake Oil. You look up, and the logo, the swinging sign that is hanging above the saloon doors, is quite literally a serpent that is stored in a jar. Now, this is not New Mexico. This is not California. This is not the deserts of Nevada. This is the Canadian prairies. And although the time that this takes place is in the summer, it is still a proper set of doors that will seal against the wind and cold that greet you. They are not the swinging saloon doors that you would love to push your way through and make a grand entrance, which makes it a little bit more of a surprise when you hear a very short but loud commotion come from the inside and an individual blow through the doors, seemingly thrown out. A dusty, disheveled looking man wearing chaps, a pistol on his hip, and a leather vest lays in the dirt and the dust outside of the saloon, rolling around, groaning, seemingly in a state of disrepair. There's a sturdy looking individual standing in the middle of the doorframe, matching the exact description of the man that you were told about earlier. It would seem as if the bouncer, the security, so to speak, of this establishment is also the owner. Benvolio stands at a triumphant 6 feet tall. broad, waxed mustache. He looks at his hands. He thinks for a second to pat them against his vest, but instead of dirtying himself with the nasty different detritus that might be covering the individual thrown out of the saloon, he pulls a handkerchief from out of a pocket and wipes his hands clean before replacing it into that same pocket. He looks past.
True gentleman.
Ah, visitors. Well, would you... He pauses. He looks at you all.
I wink.
Ah. I presume you would like to come in for a drink.
That would be absolutely delightful. How kind of you, sir.
Well, it wouldn't be a good host if I didn't bring in and cater to the needs of those that want to be, the different customers within this city. Please, come on in. You enter in through the doors of this saloon, and you hear a piano being played. There is that old-timey, very saloon-style, tappy, dancy, jazzy, jaunty tune that is being played by a man wearing a very simple vest and a straw hat, a large cigar stubbed in between his lips. And you see the various patrons of this place seem to be the usual rough and tumble individuals that would populate this frontier, as well as what seems to be some rather well-to-do clientele. There's folks that look like they could be cut from the cloths of educated sort, or perhaps barbers, tradesmen, more esteemed guests. The saloon is not just some place to hang your hat and down a gullet full of whiskey without any regard for those around you. This is a little bit of a higher class establishment. There's a second floor with a staircase that is looking quite nice, polished banisters leading up to what seems to be a collection of rooms, or perhaps gaming parlors. And Benvolio turns around and gets back behind the bar, and he picks up a glass and starts polishing it. He looks to you all.
I post up right by the door, arms crossed, watching what's about to happen.
Looks down at the dog. Now, usually, I wouldn't allow pets within my establishment, but, and he looks at the professor, if you give me a very solemn promise, I will allow your companion to sit at the bar with you.
All right.
So,
I could also just pay you $5 to have the dog come inside.
oh, it's not a matter of dollars, my good man. I am speaking very much about the other clientele who perhaps have a bit of a slant against animals of that sort being within the premises, perhaps allergies or other more discreet reasons for not wanting a pet within the confines of some place where they are going to be drinking. You know, nobody wants dog hair in their beer, and if they do, well, they shouldn't be drinking here. So, however, if you want to give me $5 anyway, I wouldn't say no.
I roll out $5 and just hand it to him.
Tremendous. Now, what will all of you be drinking this evening?
Before we actually answer that, can I do some insight here?
Yeah.
To see if I have an idea of maybe if our reputation precedes us. What's the vibe here as we're coming in?
Give me a wits and insight, please.
I'm also gonna roll that, but just generally surveying the room.
Sure. Yeah. Give me a vibe check on the entire room.
Checking the room.
Yeah.
I functionally just gave him $200.
Oh yeah, absolutely. $5 is not an insignificant amount of money at
it's
all.
$188.36.
Does this include my specialty to detect lies?
Doesn't seem like he's really been saying anything that would constitute too terrible of a lie. He hasn't made any promises, and he hasn't said anything that's outside of the norms for a drinking establishment, so I don't think it would apply.
Gotcha. Then we have 3 successes.
3
Is this
successes.
insight?
This is wits plus insight,
Yeah.
yes.
Can I join in on that?
Yes, you can.
Okay, cool. Because I have a lot of that. I can help.
That is a 3 and a 3 and a 3. Wild. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's
Not a 3?
That's very good.
That is a 17.
That is...
Cringe that it's not a 3, frankly.
7 successes with a crit.
Ooh.
Were you... I'll ask... We'll get to you in a sec. Boone, Wildman, you are surveying the room.
Yeah, where's
You
the
see-
guns in the room?
You
Who's gonna
see
shoot if shit pops off?
pistols on people's hips. You see them on essentially the rustlers, the cowpokes. You see workmen that are carrying pistols. They are not, being flagrant about it. They have their clasps over the holsters. There's there's nothing untoward. It's just people are carrying the weapons that they would defend themselves with in case something got very dire within the establishment. You notice that the general vibe of the place is rather jovial. Where in most other places that are run by the Savant or perhaps other insidious institutions, you may come across a fairly horrible vibe. This is well-to-do. You feel almost uneasy at how nice this place is. There is a veneer that does not get past you that seems to be almost put on. Are some of the people planted here? Are some of the people regulars? Are some of them on his payroll? It's hard to tell, but it doesn't escape your notice. Now, I'm assuming Elias and Lewis both were doing the insight on the individual, like on Benvolio. Okay. Well, each of you.
Also, it was me.
Yeah, you were. They gave their insights and they got 3s. You got a 7 with a crit. So these two. Oh, he's so nice. He's actually nice. He's like, you seem. If he's in a cult, it is for fame and fortune and to go on an adventure. And if he was embraced and brought into some sort of like horrible situation, he's definitely out here on the frontier trying to escape those sorts of things. Like, you've met these sorts before. People at the end of the world that have come from strange fucking circumstances and they've made a place for themselves. You check his attire. He's not wearing any like obvious vestments of cult activity. There's no strange symbols. There's no weapons that are upon him. He does not have any weird powers activated or anything like that. He seems to have a pleasant demeanor. Raphael. This man is a serpent in the garden. He is absolutely one of the most foul fucking vibes that you have ever gotten from a person. He is slime and oil incarnate. You watch his eyes. They go to your possessions, the things that are of value. He looks at the $5 that are on the counter as if, fantastic, I have pulled one over on this individual. You notice that his fangs, the teeth, the canines that he has, they seem to have some sort of metallic tinge that have been painted a tooth-like color. His mouth is a weapon. He has in his breast pocket, you see an impression in the actual cloth coming out from his pocket. It says quite literally on it, impressed in the glass, arsenic, poison, do not ingest. This man is putting on the showiest lacquer of civility. This is a monster made manifest on this earth, raised in foul cults that are going to quite literally attempt to end the world if that isn't already in motion. He could be your best friend for years. It's just a plot to either get in your pants, get your blood, kill you, or all three in no particular order. You're disgusted, and the vibes are rancid, but you can't help but have this pit inside of you. Damn, he's smooth. So, he looks to you all gathered. All right. So, again, I'll ask, what are you drinking?
You said the bottle he was holding was poison?
There's a bottle in his breast, on his inside breast pocket, that is pressing outward. There's obviously like a protrusion, a place where people would usually keep flasks. You had a very keen eye just now, a very keen eye, and you noticed that impressed upon the glass or metal of the flask that is in his pocket this is a very clearly labeled poison bottle. Something that's not too uncommon out in the West, because people poison rats. They add arsenic to, like, tinctures, and as like a cleaner. Like, it's not treated
Before
the same.
The Rat Patrol.
Yeah, it's treated far differently in 1894 than it is in the modern era. But a barman having a bottle of arsenic in his breast pocket is concerning when they ask you what you want to drink.
So the thing I was really mostly trying to insight on him is, like, does he know who we are? Because we just arrived.
He doesn't know who you are, but it would seem as if he knows what you are. There's really only a couple of ways that he can know that, and that would very likely be things like reading your aura, or perhaps understanding what it looks like to see an animal that has been turned into a famulus, or a couple of the other hallmarks that you all carry about yourself.
Okay. I'll take wine.
Wine. Red or white?
Red.
Good choice. We have a fantastic port. And if I can make a recommendation, we also sell a very fantastic line of cigars. And if you just give that cigar the lightest little glunk dip into that port, I'm telling you, it is going to absolutely rock your world. And you, my good man, look like you come from a place of esteem and would know a good glass of wine and a fine cigar. So,
I do.
I can read them as well as I read Dickens. And he pulls a bottle of wine, a box of cigars. It is a fancy-looking humidor. He cracks it open. He takes it out for you. He takes the cigar cutter, snip, hands it to you, as well as a small ashtray, as well as a cigar holder, the little fork, and, of course, a fantastic little lighter, which is an actual bar lighter, one that you will have to click on. It will stay on for as long as you need. He's like, scented oil in the lighter complements the cigar, and pours you the glass of wine. Can I please get a wits and awareness?
Okay. Awareness. 1 success.
Should be fine.
Uh-oh.
So he slides the bottle over to you, as well as the glass. What about for the rest of you?
How's your gin selection here?
How's my gin selection? Oh my goodness. Would you like it flavored with juniper, wormwood? Would you like a concoction of some sort? I do have a fantastic line on quinine that I flavor my own tonic water with. I can do that with a little bit of soda water if you like. We could do. I also have a line on citruses of any sort that you might desire to add to your cocktail. Or would you just like a glass of gin?
Well, it's a little early just for the glass of gin, so let's try your tincture, shall we?
Fantastic, fantastic. Grabs a bottle. It is gin. He grabs another
And I
bottle.
hear there's other things you sell here.
Other things that I sell here. Oh, do you mean cigarettes or perhaps playing cards? Were you speaking of our fine line of food? We do have a rather robust menu of delicacies that can be found out here on the frontier. I'm sure that's what you're talking about, correct?
Among the list.
Among
Yes.
the list. Fantastic. How about I just get you a menu? And he slides a pamphlet of paper over to you. Lewis has been in halls of inequity too many times not to understand the cipher that is going on here. There's things like Snowball Delight. There's things like Black Tar Coffee. There's things like a greenleaf salad, etc., etc. These are all clearly different slang for cocaine, for heroin, for cannabis, for opium and other substances. He says, of course, take your pick.
I won't say no to a snowball now and then.
Ah, yes, of course. Now, I'm going to be a gentleman. I'm going to be your best friend this evening because I am going to take the $5 fantastic dollars that were already given to me, and I'm going to put that towards your tab for this evening. So, for the low, low price of just $5 more, we can keep this tab running.
Of course. What's $5?
What's $5? Music to my ears.
Decided over.
He takes
It is quite a lot.
it. Well,
Is it?
I gotta tell you, the specials of the evening are fantastic, and they are more than worth the money. Now, you good sir, and then he pulls out a cigarette case with a little spoon that has been tied with twine onto it that seems to be made out of pearl. He slides that over to Lewis, and then he looks to Elias. Elias, you haven't actually said your name. My good, very tall, statuesque, foreign friend. Where, oh where, can I find a suit like that? And what, oh what, can I get you to drink, eat, or anything in between tonight?
Find a very specific shop down in Louisiana.
In Louisiana? Oh my gosh. The culture that comes out of there. I am in awe. All of my suits come from a man named Andrew. It's a shame. I can't get textile to save my life out here, so I appreciate your recommendation. I will look for a specific shop, shopped at by a man who stands as tall as a redwood and carries a cane of such discerning feature, and I will, of course, tell them that you recommended him.
And I will say, just because I know this.
You're muffled again.
God Check 1, 2, check 1, 2.
Nope.
Muffled.
Same.
Garbled.
Well,
Up your gain, or is there like a sock on it or something like that, like a baffle?
Discord
How about now?
noise suppression. Oh, sorry. Repeat.
How about now?
Better?
Muffled?
Nope.
Okay, I unplugged it and plugged it back in.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm going to leave again. Someone else speak and give their drink order.
Tremendous. Thank you for the recommendation on the clothing. You, man, standing in the back. I am going to try to read what you would like. I'm going to use my powers of prescience and of fantastical prowess as a bartender, as a tender of the bar. Would you like a shot of whiskey?
I was going to ask for whiskey neat and prairie oysters if you got them.
Prairie oysters. You know, just got in a fresh batch. You know we've got them. Absolutely. I'll have those.
Excellent.
I'll have those done up for you. Esmeralda is going to bring them down post haste. And you hear him knock against the table in a staccato rhythm. And then he pours a shot of whiskey. And he says, "Can you catch?"
Do my best.
So check it out. And he takes it in one hand and he licks the length of his arm from the crook of his elbow down to his wrist and then slides the shot glass down to that same crook of his elbow and then pops the whiskey shot over to you. Can I please get a dexterity plus, we're going to say athletics.
Okay. Do I have any penalty because I've been drinking already?
You have a -2 dice penalty, 100%. You're pretty trashed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, it's no successes
Ah.
and a 1 on my hunger dice.
So
Mm-hmm.
it hits you in the chest,
Yeah.
gets all down your front,
Mm-hmm.
and stains your pants in such a way that it looks as if you have relieved yourself fairly publicly.
Yeah.
He looks to you and says, "Now, I know the throw wasn't bad, but I wouldn't be a good host if I was blaming the patron. Drinks are on the house for you tonight. And consider the Rocky Mountain oysters just a little bit. We'll fill the plate. Now, you good sir." And he looks at Elias.
Before I get to it, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. How do I sound?
He says, "You sound clear."
Okay,
yeah, you sound good.
I did an update to Discord, and I
Yeah.
actually looked into it. It changed a lot of settings.
Oh, okay. Strange.
Yeah, it changed around a lot of stuff. It had like a custom input with a bunch of stuff I'd never seen before. So I'm on just regular the thing I've been on.
All right, let's hope it stays this way. So,
Sort of. Oh, I'm okay.
you're muffled again.
What the fuck?
I think
Crystal clear there.
I think it's quite literally like a gain issue. I'm so sorry for the folks at home. Sorry, but I do actually think it might be either a gain issue or like or you just need to get closer to your mic. Like it's like it might be like we're just a little scuffed on your
I will
end.
take soda water and grenadine.
Oh, tremendous, clear as crystal. He pours a soda water. He has a glass bottle of seltzer and just pours a succulent crimson laminar flow pour out of a spigot of grenadine, slides it over to you. Now, you have been served, Esmeralda, a woman who stands with a frilly dress, brilliant sapphire blue cleavage on full display. One of her legs exposed because the dress is hiked up and pinned almost to the hip. She walks over, sachets with a plate of Rocky Mountain oysters over to Boone, says, "Here you go, handsome." Passes you off your meal. Now, Benvolio looks to you all. Now that you are served, you have what you need. Please let me know why you're actually here. And you see about like 15 individuals shift around in their seats to look at the collective of you and just sit, not putting hands on guns or doing anything that seems dangerous or anything, but you're now very overtly being watched. 4 K-Knights do not walk into a bar together without an agenda. So, now that I have been a proper host, and you have what you have rightfully paid for, what is it I can do for you?
We hear you have some special friends.
I would say the vast majority of the city of Calgary would consider themselves my friend. Yes, I do have special friends.
Are there ones you're looking to disentangle from in the near future?
Well, the Brimacombe ranchers, they stiffed me on the last time that they came and put up a tab. There was of course, the railway, the CP rail builders. They came through. I'd like to disentangle from them, seeing as my last shipment of that fantastic port that you're drinking was about 3 weeks late, and I think I would like to disentangle from a few of the women that seem to have tried to catch my eye within town. It's getting a little bit blasé to have to push off their advances night to night, but besides them, I presume we can speak plainly here. You're talking about the Sword of Cain. Are you not?
The one and only.
He starts unbuttoning his coat. Gets about halfway down his chest. He pulls it to the side. There's a large scar. It is in the shape of a sword, almost like a key. Spikes around the handle. It's the symbol of the Sabbat. You're all familiar. They marked me. They branded me. And they have tried to bond me in this vinculum. They have attempted to make me into some sort of servant. And then he looks to the professor. And I know you know this. Some of us have a need to wander. A need to roam. But I can tell you that I did not want to roam this far. I do not feel comfortable out here in the neck of the woods that is so incredibly infested with lupines, with the gangrel, and with those.
I smile when he says that.
And with those that would come into an establishment as fine as this and treat it as if it was some dive. So, yes, should the offer be right, I would like to leave. But I need certain guarantees. And I think it's been a long time coming that people like you were going to come and shadow my door. It was only a matter of time before the Ivory Tower came and made me an offer, unless you aren't the Ivory Tower and you are the Anarchs, in which case I think you should go and piss in the wind. Because you can't offer me anything that is actually secure. I know how you operate on the West Coast, so please tell me, are you of the Tower or are you just rabble?
We have actual power.
I have told you the sect to which I belong, the Church of Cain. I do not care if you have power. I care about the power that sits behind you. Are you of the Tower or are you Anarchs?
The Tower, of course.
The Tower.
Do we look like anarchs to you?
Of course. You, handsome, don't. And you, gorgeous, don't. These two could be anything. And frankly, sometimes you can dress up a delivery boy and make him look like anything you want. And so that is why I asked. But good.
This is well within your rights.
What domain do you hail from? Is it west or is it east?
West.
West. Vancouver or south?
Yes.
Vancouver. Prince Siegfried. Really?
The one and only.
Ah. Now, let me guess. Gangrel. And he points to Boone. Samity. Points to Elias. Toreador. Points to Lewis. And you're one of my own, aren't you? And he points to the professor. No? Right. Well, it has been a while since I've been in polite company. I am a follower of Set. Do I need what?
Do I appear to be kata to you? You refer to me as Samity.
Well... Oh. I did refer to you as Samity, and yes, you do appear to be Hakata. To me, there's a certain look that a lot of you have, but if that is not your tradition, I understand. It's just... If you're not, then I would love to meet who poached you. My name is Benvolio. I am a follower of Set. I am a serpent of the light. I am ministry. What you need to know most is just that I am Benvolio. Not Ben, not Benny, Benvolio. So, what is it that you can offer me? What do you have that I do not? What clemency can you provide if I do switch sides?
These lands will become ours once our work is done. We'll
Oh.
have a space within it.
What about freedom? Can I leave?
Yes.
I plan to go
I think
south.
we'd be amenable. As long as you're not sending anyone else our way.
I want to know if you are sending me to my death if I go and work in the lands down in California? That is what I want to know. And can you send me there with an actual, real guarantee? And I'm going to leave this city alive.
You would have to leave quite quickly.
Well, I can leave quickly. I'll have to head east first. I'm going to be going and making a stop in Old Gay Paris. So, I will be leaving the country, not just the area. Now, you know what I mean by a guarantee. I want Boone and blood.
Make sure that you make it back to California from Paris, unharmed, unscathed.
And you can guarantee this. You have the money, you have the esteem.
We certainly do.
Okay. I want a major boon from each of you on top of this.
Individually or at a coterie?
Individually. I do not want you as a group acting on this. If I am leaving, I want to be able to call upon the halls of academia. I want to call upon the crypts of Louisiana. I would like to have a trail that has been rough ran ahead of me, ensured of its safety. And if I need to fall into a gambling parlor within Los Angeles, I want this one to get me in. I am going to need certain things if I am leaving the Sword of Cain. I will say, it is not all appearances. I am genuinely a good host. I do make good on my promises, and there are certain things that I can afford you within this city. I just need to know what you're after. What do you want here?
I believe what we are after should not be discussed among such prying eyes.
Esmeralda, clear out the rebel. And Esmeralda very quickly snaps her fingers. The folks that were looking at you gets up, leave. The different bar patrons, they stand, and as if they were zombies, walk out the door.
I walk to a table near the door. I sit down, and I don't put my spurs on the table yet.
Okay. So,
I wait.
he takes a moment. Is this private enough for you?
What you wish to awaken, what your sect wishes to release. We do not want.
You do not want.
No.
You're talking about the Grand Convocation. You're speaking about the arising of the thing that lives underneath the hill.
Indeed.
I'm not so privy to
It
that.
must remain. It must remain. It does not matter if you are privy. You are a part of the group. You are one of the ones of power. With you gone, a chess piece leaves the board. With
Okay.
you gone, we have no need for your head. And instead you leave with boons, as you say.
I presume that you know about the catacombs, the caverns
That we-
underneath the hill, right?
Correct. Do you
Above
have
board with that.
further information about them? I think we were told there were traps in the tunnel.
Yes. That's right.
Well, our Temple to Cain is at the very bottom of that, so I can guarantee you entrance into those caves unscathed. That I can do.
Now that sounds like something more worthy of a boon.
Well, I would say so. I just need your guarantees. I will map, I will cross T's, I will dot I's, I will put every single detail of what you are to expect at any of these entrances that I'm sure you know about. If you give me your word that I can leave.
One
give my
other
word that you may leave.
possible
Go ahead, please.
one other possible condition here. You leave and you are not a problem for the Camarilla.
Well,
Do as you will. But do not
I...
become an issue.
He thinks for a second. I can make you a promise that I'm not going to be a problem for your domain. Or the domain of Prince Siegfried. I cannot make similar promises elsewhere. I do not plan to join the tower. And frankly, they likely don't love the way I operate. So there may be some
Let's
friction.
put it this way. Don't start none, won't be none.
Oh, I never start
We
anything.
can agree on that. Then you have my permission.
I can, he thinks again, I can agree to that. Now, which one of you wants to shake on it?
I love a shake with a gentleman.
Yeah? Tremendous. He takes a nail and grows out. He scrapes it against his palm, drawing a line of blood. Now you.
Lewis tugs off his glove. Uses their teeth. And shakes.
Gives a solid shake. Mechanically, you are now, unfortunately, one step bloodbound to Benvolio. Tremendous. It is done. It is all right. Now that all of the foul work is over, which entrance would you like? Is it the haberdashery? Is it going to be the one underneath the rail station? Or is it going to be that old mine entrance? One of them means you have to go and talk to Strathcona before you do anything, and I'm not sure you're planning on doing that.
Which one would ensure that we are unimpeded?
Two of the entrances you are not going to be able to get through unscathed. It is very, very likely that even with my help, there's going to be impediments. The entrance that is underneath Kyle's hat shop. That, in particular, happens to be the safest route, but you have to get past Kyle. So, I'll leave it up to you, which you'd like to choose. And you seem, all of you, pretty bold, so I wouldn't put it past you to want to speak to old Kyle there.
I'm looking at the rest of you.
And each map has. Once we get to an entrance, is it the same? Is it not the same map?
It is a different collection of caves. It is a different collection of tunnels under each. They each have their own set of trials. Under two of them, it is pits of full of punji sticks and horrible, fatal traps, even for our kind. You know, pots of burning oil and stakes leveled right around the heart, which might not be a problem for Mr. Giant here. It might be aimed a little low. But the one underneath Kyle's, you just need to know how to get in, particularly. It's a set of...
Could I do a wits and insight again, just to see, like, how much of this is bullshit and how much of this is, like, actually...
Oh my god, please! Yeah, please do.
I want to know...
Yeah, I don't know that I trust what he's saying.
Because while I'm just like, oh yeah, this is the nicest guy, me, a Tremere in this time age, I don't even like nice people. It's like, oh, you're nice? Oh, buddy, I'm gonna use you as an experiment. Oh boy. That good Jesus fucking Christ. Another 3 6s.
I only got 2 this time.
Okay, so me, Sharmy, and Daryl all
3,
got
3, and 3, and 2. Gotcha. Now.
Mandy, stop leaving the club. The 3 club.
Sorry.
No. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending, it seems as if he's telling the truth. He wants out. He's willing to give information to get out. There's not a lot that can be gleaned besides if he is being duplicitous. It's in such a way where the details that he's either leaving out or injecting in are very hard to decide on what they are.
The haberdashery sounds good.
I agree with the handsome professor.
I believe the 2 of you may be able to charm your way in. Yes.
Yeah.
If you do decide to have a little tete-a-tete with Mr. Strathcona, I will let you know that he is of a similar inclination to me, but he's a little bit more invested. He's gonna need a little bit more on the top to come over. I do know that he's not wanting this convocation. He's not looking to get involved in raising this horrifying creature. He's very much out for himself. And you didn't hear it from me. He likes being the oldest generation in town. He doesn't really want that status quo to change, and Sword of Cain is kind of all about changing the status quo, so you can see why there's friction.
Boone speaks up for the first time. So, what you're saying is, if he didn't have the support or the responsibility, depending on how you look at it, it'd be free and clear for him to hop the fence, hey?
What I'm saying is, Kyle Strathcona is going to be a nut to crack for very likely your best negotiator. I also know that he would be far more inclined to hop that fence, so to speak, if he had far less allies on his side.
That's what I'm trying to say.
If I'm leaving, well, that's not so much a boon for him. It is more a feather in his cap that he got to get rid of the serpent in the garden, so to speak. I'm not exactly the biggest
You're not
resource.
exactly popular.
I'm not a great asset to the people that are here for right now, but yeah, I would say you go and cull. And then Kyle might just fall in line. Doesn't stop the convocation from happening. There are some priests working on it as we speak,
But it'll get us in the door.
it'll get you in the door, and it'll remove probably the worst person out of the roster of individuals trying to make it all happen.
You think if clubs disappeared, that'd get his attention?
I think that clubs is a problem all of his own. You might want to remove that one anyway. I'm more talking about the madam and, of course, the archbishop.
The archbishop.
The archbishop is a real Weasley sort. He's the one at the head of this entire operation of raising up this foul thing out of the dirt. And to be frank, I'm not sure that one can be swayed one way or the other. So it's very likely in your best interest to see him gone. But I do have a sneaking suspicion that you'll stand that one down at the end of things.
Did we have a picture of the Archbishop?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think
You
we
did
got that.
not. You did not receive information on the Archbishop. If the Archbishop was an individual that you knew about, this is the first you're hearing about him.
Okay.
Does the Archbishop have a name? That is the only one we have not had any information about.
It's Archbishop Stewart.
Clan are they?
They are one of my own. Unfortunately.
Bishop Stewart. Could I make an occult roll to see if I've ever heard this name kicking about?
Yeah, go ahead.
Someone who is trying to do like a ritual like this would probably.
Sure. Anyone with a cult can definitely roll on the name Archbishop Stewart. That's not a problem. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Hit it.
I took the penalty for not having a cult, Aaron, and I got 1 success.
You've never heard of Archbishop Stewart?
All right, fair.
Strange.
Is it intelligence occult or what's
Intelligence and occult. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to. No, I'm not. Never mind, because I'm one away. Fuck it. I'm gonna.
Yay.
rouse the
Let's
for
surge.
this.
You gonna rouse the blood for this? Okay, yeah, for sure. Roll a rouse
Yeah.
check.
I pass, so no physical change to me. And that adds 2 dice to my pool.
Yes. As per the errata, you get 2 dice.
4 successes.
4 successes. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm rolling in sections. It's a lot of dice.
We'll give the 4 successes real quick.
Yep.
Archbishop Stewart. Rituals to raise horrifying individuals. Ascetite. Ooh. That rings a bell. Archbishop Stewart was originally from Vancouver. He is one of the Sword of Cain that was ousted from Vancouver. And if you perhaps plied your boon from the prince, you may be able to get some more information. Or if not information, perhaps even someone who knows Archbishop Stewart in a more intimate way. And you could get some serious dirt on your wayward priest.
Okay.
8.
8
with
successes.
Crit,
Nice.
with a method critical.
Archbishop Stewart was originally from the domain in Gary, Indiana. Archbishop Stewart has, on more than one occasion, been a thorn in the side of the Camarilla. Archbishop Stewart is not a Setite and has been masquerading as one for quite some time. Archbishop Stewart is a Lamia. A rare bloodline. And you know that it is very likely their own interest as to why they wish to get this creature risen. They carry powers of the green, very akin to the Lianan. But,
Aaron,
yeah.
just a quick clarification question.
Yeah.
Do you mean Lamia or do you mean our remains?
I mean Lamia.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I do.
I look directly at Benvolio. I'm going to correct you on one little fact that you've gotten wrong, apparently.
I will stop you. I will stop you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to know more, my good friend. The less I know about what's going on in this city, the better. I want to leave with nothing, because if anyone decides to rip it out of me, I don't have it.
Oh, it's not for the city. This is for your clan.
Oh. I don't give two squirts of piss about my clan, to be so totally honest.
Very good. He is not of yours, so you don't have to worry.
You know,
We really got to work on those social cues there.
it's fine. It's fine. You're going to go and see Strathcona. Is this what I'm hearing?
We.
Once you
Yes.
get past Strathcona, that is going to be your biggest hurdle. What you're going to need is a very secret sequence of lever pulls. It is quite literally a large, shifting stone door to get past. There is a collection of intricate puzzles between here and the entrance to the actual temple itself. So, I will give you the details of those, and I will be able to leave, right?
We.
Good.
As
Starts-
we have agreed.
He starts writing down on a scrap of paper he pulls out. There you are. There's the sequences that you need. Now, you've been here for about an hour. Do you feel like it is a good time to leave? It's best if you were never seen here.
I want to make one last insight. Is he giving us the correct lever pulls?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, give it.
And I'm in a blood surge on this one.
Okay.
Why not?
Good. Oh, baby.
Oh. Raphael.
Yep.
Your sweet boy sitting at the bar beside you begins to growl. He spins around, gets up, hackles, rays slightly. He points nose and paw at the door.
With
Ben-
feral whispers, what does he say?
Benvolio freezes. With feral whispers. You hear the sniff, you hear the growl. And there's really only a few words that come out. Seems the dog's personality is quite direct and short. Threat door.
I activate toughness. And that was 7 successes with a critical to see if he's full of shit about those lever pulls.
Benvolio wants out of the city. You have seen people lie and cheat and steal. You've watched the intentions of wild animals and beast-fueled predators. You have stared down a lupine in the depth of the woods and sussed out whether or not they are going to kill or merely let you pass. Benvolio is not lying. He wishes to leave. And should any of you survive any duplicitous attempt to keep you out of the temple, he does not want to eat those repercussions. He's telling the truth.
Okay.
At the door, being stared down by a very large hound, is a suddenly visible Clubs.
I stand up from my chair, dust myself off, look at him, and be like, I was wondering when you were going to show up.
Clubs' eyes do not leave the dog.
I'm gonna send Kadeho a mental command to bark at Clubs.
The dog barks. A low, forceful, commanding bark. Clubs jumps. You see him physically flinch, but he doesn't move. What are you doing in my town?
Finishing mincing words, and it's on. I'm fighting.
It is at this showdown at the bar that we are going to call it for this evening, folks.
Fucker.
We're going to start off the next session mid-combat. We're going to get directly into it, and then we'll see what happens with the Madam and what will occur with Kyle Strathcona, and if our coterie can stop this foul ritual. Folks, this has been Another World. This is Sanguine 1894. And I think I have to ask that time-old question with, of course, my cat screaming in the background. Is T-Pain live? No? It's too bad.
So.
All right, hold up. Let me find somebody that's live.
I got Dork Tales and two people.
Legend of Avantra. Yeah. Let's do Dork Tales. They're good people. Yeah, we'll hit Dork Tales. Well, folks, this was Sanguine Dominion 1894. Catch us on Tuesday for The Last Ideal, Chapter 2. And catch us next Saturday for the finale of this very short miniseries before we return back into the present day and our beloved Lupe December, Deacon Tex, and Uptown, and the rest. Dorktown, fantastic, or Dork Tales.
Last episode, I'm not sure.
Yeah, true.
And Uptown question mark?
And Uptown question mark? Question mark, exclamation mark. Go show Dork Tales that classic Another World love. Tell them Story Dad sent you, and remind them that Saturday is for vampires, y'all. We'll catch you on the flip flop. Same vamp time, same vamp channel.